Let there be no doubt. The United States has Israel's back. We will make sure the Jewish and democratic state of Israel can defend itself today, tomorrow, as we always have. It's as simple as that. These atrocities have been sickening.
That was President Biden earlier this week delivering strong remarks condemning Hamas's attack on Israel. But has the president's messaging had the same fiery resolve for other issues like aid for Ukraine or the economy? Yahoo Finance's Rick Newman, he doesn't think so. Rick, you writing this week about his delivery of that very strong speech. And as you say, a passion that maybe was lacking when he's messaging on other issues.
Possibly the best speech of his presidency so far, and more than just a speech. I mean, I think he's providing Americans and people in Israel as well, and people elsewhere, a way forward and a way to think about this. I mean, he's clearly channeling the outrage millions of people everywhere feel about these attacks on Israel. He's crystal clear, United States stands with Israel. He's not going into, well, what about, should we, have some sort of sympathies for the plight of the people Hamas represents? He's just putting that aside for the time being and saying, first things first, we got to stand with Israel. And what I noticed about this is people I follow, political analysts and other people like that who are normally very critical of Biden are saying he's just handling this extremely well. And he's a hero in Israel. For the way he has stood up for Israel here. So Biden is showing his inner statesman, if you will, and it just makes me wonder, where is this inner statesman on all these other issues? I mean, when you talk about Ukraine, which aid for Ukraine, which is now in jeopardy, by the way, Biden has not once ever given as much as a 10-minute speech to the nation as he did on Israel to say, here's why it is in the interest of American taxpayers that we send this money to Israel. Here's why people who might be struggling to pay the rent need to get behind this. He's never made that case. As far as the economy goes, Biden talks about the economy all the time. He gives speeches all the time. I watch some of them. I read some of them. And he's not moving anybody when he talks about the economy. He basically says, here are the good things we've accomplished. Here's what we have yet to do. And the facts are somewhat on his side, super low unemployment rate, and yet voters give him terrible marks on the economy. And his his approval rating just dipped below 40% in the aggregate, followed by 538. So Biden's showing some fire here this week with regard to Israel, and it just remains an open question, where's his passion on the other issues?
And Rick, I want to switch gears here a bit because we're just getting word that House Judiciary Chair Jim Jordan has just secured the nomination to be House Speaker, but getting the job isn't a done deal. Of course, he's got an uphill battle here to get to 217 votes, Rick.
I mean, where are you guys putting your money? You think Jim Jordan's going to be the guy? He's more conservative than Kevin McCarthy. He's more conservative than Steve Scalise, who couldn't get the job. So maybe Jordan can get those the votes of those 8 or 10 renegade Republicans who have thrown the wrench into the works here. But he also seems unlikely to get the votes of some moderates. I mean, he is one of the real bomb throwers among the Republicans. Kevin McCarthy, I think, once called him a legislative terrorist. And you've got some moderate Republicans. I mean, people may forget there are moderate Republicans, but there are, I think, at least 15 House Republicans that represent districts that Joe Biden won in the 2020 election. So they are, they're holding on by a thin thread in those districts. And I would note 15 of those moderates is more than the 8 who voted against McCarthy. So I don't think Jim Jordan's going to get it. I mean, what are they going to do? Is every single House Republican going to go for this vote? And when they can't elect any of them, are they going to go outside? I still have no idea how this ends, and I don't think Jim Jordan is the conclusion.
Rick Newman, always love having you. Have a great weekend.
You too, guys. See ya.